All right, well, we are at time, so I'm going to go ahead and get us started. How many of you guys joined us last year for our session? Who was here at Spice World last year? A few of you? All right, well, you guys know we like to have some fun in our sessions. My name is Jen Smith, and I head up our Alliance and Digital Marketing for the Video Collaboration Group here at Logitech. And this is our third year to sponsor Spice World, and we're extremely thrilled to be here. But we're even more thrilled to have all of you here in the room with us today. So you're probably wondering why I'm dressed like this. I am in a bartender outfit, and we here at Spice World, our theme is Better Meetings on Tap. So we have launched our Tap meeting room bundles, and we are really excited to showcase those. So if you haven't seen those yet, please stop by our booth and come check them out. We have three bundles that Vic is going to take us through in a little while, so I don't want to spoil all of his fun. He's going to talk us through those details. And then after Vic shares that with us, we're going to have a little bit of fun. So if you guys want to participate in a contest, start thinking about raising your hand, and we'll choose some lucky winners out of the audience here, and we are going to be giving away a meeting room bundle solution to the winners. So I wanted to also let you know that after Vic is done, we are going to be doing a Q&A with our awesome panelists over here. We've got Adam and David and Vic, and they'll be answering any questions that you have around Logitech's video collaboration solutions. So thank you so much for being here, and I'm going to turn it over to Vic Bagat, who's our head of technical over at Logitech.
Yeah. I'm good.
You're
Thanks.
Good.
I got a mic. Thank you, everyone, for joining us again. So, as Jen mentioned, we just launched a new product called Tap. It's a center of room meeting room controller. I wanted to take you through what we're offering, how this is easy for you to order, easy for you to set up, and then, as we mentioned, we are going to do a setup contest with 4 of you right after this. So, 10 minutes max. Going to go through these slides. We'll save questions till the end. So please be thinking of some great questions as well as we're going through this. All right, so let's see if this is working. This is not working. Go this way. So I'm going to talk to Tap. We've been around a while in the video collaboration space for about 7 years, doing a whole bunch of different things, starting out with the BCC 950 that you see kind of back center-ish with the eyeball on the stick, very classic design from Logitech. And what we're doing is we've moved through from the small room, kind of desktop, into your medium, the large room. We tried to do some meeting room controls with the Smart Dock, the first solution we had from the Microsoft Skype Room System V2 or Teams Room. We really wanted to bring that to the next level, and this is a next generation product that we're launching with Tap. And Tap is meant to be a center of table touch controller that you can use in any meeting room or actually any place you want to do a video meeting to give you control over that meeting. So one of the things, a few of the things that we thought about as we were looking at designing Tap was form factor, flexibility, and platform. We wanted this solution to be able to scale, get onto any table or in any size room from your smallest phone booth to the largest auditorium to provide the meeting control. So form factor was critical. Flexibility, it had to have that flexibility of being placed anywhere but still have great cable management so things don't get unplugged and you all don't get last-minute calls to get in there and fix things. Finally, for platform, we know not everyone uses one single platform, so we did wanted to make sure we could bundle these things together with the top meeting room providers or meeting solution providers that are out there today. So let's talk a little bit about form factor. So what we've built is a nice 10.1-inch touchscreen. This is a DisplayLink display, so it actually will connect up to your main meeting room computer via USB. All updates happen through that, so it's not a device with a battery in an enclosure. You're not going to have issues after years of a battery device being powered all the time. So it's really designed to be a meeting room controller for the meeting room that gets updated when you update the PC. We've also integrated this with a 14-degree angle, which is sleek enough where it blends away during your meeting. It doesn't stick up like another participant in the room, but it allows you to see what's going on and actually take control with that meeting and actually interact with it very easily. So we talked a little bit about cable retention, or I did earlier, because this is something we've learned over our past meeting room devices. Cable retention is incredibly important. If you're not capable or careful about how you install these things and a cable does come unplugged, it does create a challenge to find out where that is and how to resolve that issue. So on Tap itself, we actually have 3 forms of cable management built into this device. So I'll talk through those on this picture here. The first form of cable retention that we have is the semicircles on the bottom. So your cables actually loop around those. Then they go through cable holding brackets. And then finally, when you install that the back cover and screw that down, there's a clamping mechanism that goes down. And that is the third form of holding that cable in place. So, we have had someone take and spin this thing over their head with the cable attached. Cable was still attached. Please don't try that at home. But it is possible, and it does work very, very well. So in terms of flexibility, we talked about being able to install this in any type of room, anywhere. And I mentioned that this was a USB display link device. But one of the things that you needed on this was, in order to connect this display to the compute over USB 3, you need a longer cable. So traditionally, limit of a copper USB cable is 2 meters, 6 feet. That's not long enough to deploy your compute at the front of room. So we've actually developed a strong USB cable, and we'll pass these around here so you guys can take a look at this. This is an active optical cable, so it's got fiber optic running through it and also copper. It's Kevlar reinforced or aramid reinforced, so it's 1,000-pound crush force, 2,000-pound pull force on it. And it can actually run through conduit. It's Plenum and ECA rated, so you can put it in conduit, you can put it through walls. Every Tap ships with a 10-meter strong USB cable. So you've got 30 feet of play there. If you need something longer than that, you can go to our 25-meter accessory cable that will be available in just, I think, about a month or so. That'll be available in market, so if you need that longer run. In terms of mounting options, we understand a lot of times people don't want cables coming out the back of devices. They want really nice, clean installs, especially as you get up into boardrooms and things of that nature. So we have a few different mounting options for Tap. So the first is the table mount, and this will go through about a 3-inch grommet hole that you would drill into a table. It screws on to that grommet hole. It allows 180-degree swivel, 90 degrees in each direction. And your cables will actually run down through the grommet instead of out the back of the device. The one cable that you will have coming out the back of the device is an HDMI in cable. So Tap does support HDMI in for the major platform vendors that we'll talk about, and that will be the only thing that's left on the table. If you have a deep table, like a boardroom table, you might need a little bit more angle for everyone to actually see this display. So we've also created a riser mount, which changes that angle up a little bit. I think it takes it to about a 22-degree angle, something like that, and it gives you an easier line of sight on those deeper tables. The other thing that we have is a wall mount that's available, and this is available, think about this for small phone booth rooms where you don't have a lot of table space. You can actually mount this on the wall next to your table or below the display. It even works great in an auditorium-like setting, multi-purpose room like this, where you might have a projector screen. You could actually mount the Tap on the wall next to that, so you have meeting control right there. And then we also support a 100 by 100 VESA pattern on the back of Tap itself. This can be used on any 100 by 100 VESA mounting bracket. So it could be a cart that has a bracket panel or any third-party mounting option that you have to meet your needs. So I'd like to go ahead and talk a little bit now about platform and the different platforms that we're working with and what we're supporting. So today, we've worked really closely with Google, Microsoft, and Zoom to support their meeting room clients on Tap. So it's their interface. If you guys use one of these platforms today, you're going to actually see their user experience on this device. So it's something your users will be used to, and they're going to be very comfortable with when they walk into the room. And the beautiful thing about Tap is you can deploy this in every room size. So it's that same consistent experience that your users will have when they walk into any room. So I do want to talk a little bit about ease of deployment. On our conference cam side, we have 3 products. We have Meetup, which is designed for your huddle room. We have Rally, which is designed for that medium-sized room, and then Rally Plus, which is designed for your larger room. So what does that mean in the context of Tap? That means basically with 4 products, Rally, Meetup, the compute and tap, you can service anything from a small huddle room up to your large meeting room, your boardroom, and beyond. So consistent user experience available for every room size with a handful of products. So you all know what you've deployed. You all have the consistency. You know how to support it. And it's easy for the users because they know what to expect when they walk in that room. Right? To give you an idea on pricing here, so the small room bundle is approximately $3,000. Medium room is about $4,000. Large is approximately $5,000. Right? That's all the hardware. It comes with a pre-imaged PC that you plug in. You enter your credentials into that have the license attached for that meeting room provider, and you're up and running. Right? No maintenance fees, nothing of that nature are needed with this. It's just that hardware cost and then the licensing fee for your meeting room provider, and that's it. Pardon me?
I said, is that a perpetual license or reoccurring?
So that's going to depend on the platform vendor that you choose. So today, Microsoft, Zoom, and Google all have its recurring license fees, but it may depend on annual or monthly. Okay. So we also wanted to make this simple as well to purchase and deploy. So what we've actually worked on are bundles. We've worked with our distributors to create small, medium, and large room bundles that have everything you need in one or two boxes that you would receive off a single ordering part number to deploy into a room. In the case of Microsoft and Zoom, we've also enabled what we're calling a no AV bundle or a base package. And that's if you already have AV equipment in your room and you want to make it into a Microsoft Teams room or a Zoom room, you can buy the no AV bundle. For Google, you can buy Chromeboxes on their own that are certified for Hangouts Meet, and then you can buy a tap and kind of do that yourself. So that capability is there on all three platforms if you do have existing AV products. All right, so I talked about the packaging on this. So you can see here for your base package and your small room bundle, you'll receive everything in a single box, regardless of which bundle you choose, either the Microsoft Zoom or the Google small bundle. For the medium and large, you do go into two boxes because your Rally device has to ship separately. But still, this is super easy for you to deploy, right? You're going to get one or two boxes per room size, and you're good to go. Everything you need is in there. And so in addition to the main components that we've talked about, we're also including a few accessories. So every bundle that ships will come with our PC mount, and that PC mount will hold that small form factor PC and also provide cable retention for all cables plugging into it. You can screw that to a wall behind a display, put it into a credenza. It's got standard VESA mounting holes there, so it can also tack onto a cart or something of that nature. And that way you're getting cable retention at both ends. For Rally, we'll include the Rally mounting kit in the medium and large room bundles. So you've got the speaker mounting bars, the mounting kit for the hubs, and the camera, etc. When you get into the large room bundle, we're also providing the Rally mic hub. What this is, it's an additional device that will allow you to take your two mic pods that come with Rally Plus out cabled under the table, so you don't have a mess of cables on top of your table. When you receive this, there will be a single sheet of paper on top of that box which will point you to a setup guide. It is a URL that you would type in. I'm showing you the Microsoft one as an example here. And it will take you to a web page, which is also mobile responsive. So even if you're doing this on your smartphone, it'll ask you what bundle you have, and it'll give you all the setup tips that you need, what to plug in where, what step to take, when to power on the PC, and what you can expect to do from there. Okay. Best thing about this as well is Logitech is actually going to support all the hardware in this kit when you buy it. Even though we're not making the PC or the compute that comes with this, we've worked with our compute partners. So if you have a problem, you call us. If there is a hardware problem with that compute, we will actually do the advanced replacement for you and ship you a brand new system and take back that old system and get that reworked. Okay? So you basically have one shoulder to tap when it comes to support on these bundles. All right? So that is all we have on the slides. We want to get into the fun of this thing and the competition. So right now we're going to look for 4 volunteers from the audience. So if you'd like to come up and set up a small room bundle, please raise your hand, and each one of us will pick one person.
All right, I'll pick first, and I'm going to go on this side and pick you because you sat in the front row, and I love front row people that sit in the front row. And then Vic, you want to pick one?
I am going to pick this gentleman in the gray shirt towards the back.
David.
Oh, I'm going to go for a little gender equity here to show
Let's do
that
it.
girls can play too. So, how about you?
All right, Adam.
Just because you and the orange pants you guys were the first ones here, and you did a nice call with your wife, I think you should come up.
And he's got rockin' orange pants on.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
I think he just got out.
I want you guys to come stand on this side.
Hey,
All right,
those
guys,
Are,
so
those are,
what we're
those
gonna
are
do is
spicy pants, is what
Yeah.
they are. I love it.
we'll have the contestants stand on the outside of the table. We do have small room kits here, so Meetup, the Nook, and the Tap device that you're going to set up. The goal of this competition is you're going to get these set up. We have accounts pre-configured on the Nooks, and they're pre-wired into our hotspot, so they will automatically connect to the internet. First person to get this, or first group to get this set up, connected in, and to make a call is going to win. But we've got a couple tricks. So first trick, you can only use one hand. So one hand must be behind your back. I would recommend to grab your belt or something behind your back. If your other hand comes out, you are disqualified as a team. All right? So that's number 1. Number 2, when you start your call and you get your video up on screen, you have to yell out, "Teams on tap," to be declared the winner.
Both hands in the air.
Got it?
You can take your hand out of your
Yes,
pocket.
at that
or
point,
your
both
back.
hands can go up.
Teams on tap.
Teams
both
on
hands
tap.
up. It's like Uno. You know,
Right.
you want to be the first one to say Uno really quickly. We want to hear teams on tap.
Okay, and no pressure. We've had kindergartners set this up in what, about 15 minutes or so?
6-year-olds.
Yeah, 6-year-olds.
Yeah.
So no pressure. No pressure. You guys got this. All right. Let me turn on my hotspot here.
I know we
All
should
right.
have cued music, right? For the.
You guys ready? Set. Go.
And remember, it's teamwork, so you can work with your team member to get it set up, even though you've just got one hand. Yeah, you guys on this side, feel free to cheer for your team, the orange
Yes.
pant team. The group on the other side of the room can cheer for the hat team, I guess we'll call them.
Yes.
Did somebody start a timer? I guess the video will show us that.
See how we're doing. Team 1's got the power connected up to their Nook.
What do you guys think? Who's your bet on? Orange pant team or hat team? Orange pants for sure. Okay, we got orange pants over here. How are they doing over there, Vic?
They're
How's that
doing pretty
side?
good. Looks
How are
like
we
their
looking?
meetup is almost set up here.
Okay.
Meetup's plugged in. They got their expansion mic plugged into the meetup. How is the non-hat team doing over there, Adam?
Orange pant team. They're the orange pant team.
All right. You can get your help from your teammate to hold the tap down if you need to.
And remember, you guys, after the contest is over, we're going to be doing a live Q&A. So if you have questions from Vic's presentation, we'll be answering those questions here when these guys are done. How's it looking? Is Adam? What's happening?
No,
Is
hey,
Adam
don't
helping?
worry about the HDMI. You can leave the HDMI in. Forget about that. Just do the USB-C connection from the tap to the PC. What? Oh, the screws are on?
Yeah.
Oh.
You got a screwdriver?
What do you need, David? Oh. Look at you. You're so prepared. We got MacGyver over here.
Anybody home?
Yeah, but their box didn't have screws in it. Keep going. She doesn't have enough
I count that as cheering.
There you go. You guys are missing something over here. Come on. You don't need that. There you go. Not there. No, not there. So the HDMI on tap is an HDMI in, not an HDMI out.
Give a time buffer to the other team or anything?
Yeah, I think they'll all win.
Hmm?
They'll all win.
The what?
They'll all win. Oh.
You're still in the game.
Oh.
It was on.
The demo gods are against us today.
Keep going, Chris. Welcome to the game.
I'd recommend you guys power cycle your PC. Got it right here, okay.
Come on.
Cut that up.
They're so close.
Later, I mean in like 5 years. When it's somebody else's problem. And only in this room can I make that joke.
Did you say it's someone else's problem? Until they call you and need you to help them.
Oh, it's a race now.
Oh,
So
almost there.
close.
This is not their fault.
Yep. Signing in. Same thing here. So if you want to.
Shouldn't you be using the tap?
Yeah. So when. Oh, we're in a meeting. Let's see. Are we there? Not yet.
We're there. Teams on tap. Or tap on teams.
You're in there, right?
Looks like we're the only one on the call. Hello?
All right. Okay. We're going to stop here because both teams are actually tied. They've reached the same position at the same time. So we have 4 winners. All 4 people are going to win meetups. All right.
Good job,
All right.
you guys. Good job.
Yeah.
Teams on
Teams
tap.
on tap, guys.
Teams on tap. Woo! Thank you so much to our contestants here. You guys did awesome.
Yes.
Sorry, we had a little bit of
We had a little-
It wouldn't be an IT conference without an IT issue, though, right?
Yep. Yes.
No, you guys leave it. We got that. But if you guys are the winners, I really do appreciate you coming up and volunteering. If you'll come see me right after the session, I'll get your contact information and your shipping address, and you guys will all win the Logitech meetup. So thank you. Yep.
So I'm going to give you a couple of pointers about what you saw here, and we'll go through the rest. So the way these systems work, it's got to recognize tap when the PC boots, and then it's going to put the screens on the right screen, right? So both these systems needed one more reboot for it to recognize tap and then put the console screen on the different things. So if you all end up buying these, it might just take one extra reboot because of the USB enumeration is what you're seeing there. All right. On that, I'm going to open it up for questions. So any question you have on video conferencing, video, whatever, we'll take those questions.
Yeah, and before we do that, I would love to have our panelists introduce themselves so you guys know who you're talking with here at Logitech. So Adam.
I'm Adam Burns. I am a IT guy in a product development world. I am a product specialist for Logitech, and I am kind of the voice of IT when it comes to what we're doing and how we're doing it and why we're doing it.
My name's David Morris. I am our AV specialist, I guess, in a way. I am also our Linux and Android person, and I work hand in hand with my work husband over here, Vic.
Yeah, and again, I'm Vic Bagat. I lead the solutions team as well as David leads the solution team for, as he said, AV and Android Linux. I work on it more from our cloud partners and also the compute that we put together in solutions.
Great. And so your questions can be heard by our panelists. I'm going to do my best to run around with the mic, and I know I saw your hand come up, so I'm headed back your way.
Yeah, we do have a second mic, so if someone else has a question, you can raise your hand and we can get the mic over to you.
I just want to see what the final product looked like.
The final product.
Yeah, because we didn't get to see anything on the screens.
Yes. You want to see what the camera looks like on screen? Okay. We'll get that one working while we're working on that.
Perfect, thank you.
All right.
We are currently Teams, or I'm sorry, we're currently Zoom, but we might switch to Teams. Will that
Yes.
mean got to purchase a new Nook?
So it does require a different image. Yes. So you may need to either re-image or purchase a different Nook. Yes.
Hey, so we used Skype for Business room service with the previous Logitech Smart Dock.
Yep.
And I don't know if the problem was mostly the Surface tablet or the Logitech Smart Dock, but it wasn't a very successful situation for us. But for these, so one example then, and I don't know if this is a Microsoft issue, but it was suggested to not update Windows on that Surface tablet. So on these Intel Nooks, how is Windows licensed, and is it suggested or is it okay to keep Windows up to date on the Intel NUC itself?
Yeah, so with Microsoft Teams Room or the Skype Room System V2, Microsoft tests Windows with their application. So currently, I'll just give you an example. They have tested it, and it is working and stable on 1803. And they are about ready to update it now to the next version. They're going to skip over 1809. So they will unblock and push the update when it's tested and done. So don't force an update, but yes, allow Windows Update to update the device, or you can manage the updates that come down from there as an IT pro.
Okay, and then also, how is Windows licensed on these devices?
So it is Windows 10 Enterprise. It's using IoT Enterprise on the semi-annual channel. So you will get all updates and all critical updates, as well as all feature updates that come down. And we have a question right here.
Thanks. So in our environment, when they need to play optical media, which happens a lot, we don't have like a DVD player anymore. They're just using the optical drive on a computer. So what would you recommend if we're using our own PC versus the Intel NUC?
So I guess there are two things. If you want to share that media into a meeting, you could still use this setup, and then with the HDMI in coming off of TAP, you can plug that into your laptop and then play that media. And it would play that in room and then also transmit the video over to the far end. Rally and Meetup are USB devices just like all of our other conference cams. So if you don't want to go with the room system and you just want to have AV peripherals in the room to plug into your own laptop, you can do that as well. And that's kind of the beauty of what we come out with. It's USB peripherals. It is modular, so you have the flexibility to kind of tailor it for your own needs.
Okay. And have you guys tested this with, for instance, instead of a USB into like a laptop, but maybe a USB into just like a standalone optical drive?
We typically don't see output from an optical drive to have the compute in order to drive a meeting service provider, if you will. So we've typically only done it with the USB host, which is typically a PC.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
If they need to run like PowerPoint or another software on the NUC, I guess you're calling it, then is that going to be, can we provision that or put that on there, or how's that going to work?
So that's going to depend by the platform. So on the Microsoft Teams Room system, you can actually attach PowerPoint files to your calendar invite. And in the Skype meetings today, you can actually pull those up on device and cycle through the PowerPoints without bringing your computer in. For Google and Zoom, what they'd recommend is actually to drive that off of your own laptop and either use the HDMI in connection or wire in. Join the meeting again, wirelessly share in, that sort of thing.
Someone up here?
Could you define the difference between when you go from small room to medium room to large room? What defines room size by system?
Absolutely. So small, medium, and large, think about it more in terms of the number of seats at the table and the size of room. So what we consider a huddle room, or what's perfect for Meetup here, is about 150 square feet size room. So a 12 by 12, 10 by 15 type room, typically about 6 people. Right, 6 to 7 people is what you're talking about for that huddle room space. So medium is about 10, then large you start getting into about, say, the 15, 16, 18 person range.
And if you come down to our booth, we actually have the Rally system that'll show you the bundle for medium and large room. And then large is defined. You can configure in a lot of different ways. So you can take the mic pod in the large that comes with 2 mic pods. You can actually daisy chain up to 7 mic pods to do different room configurations. So you can do a U-shape or classroom style with those different mic pod configurations. You had a question? Somebody over here.
Can you connect it into your laptop and run your VoIP client through the audio and have a VoIP call going?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at Zoom and the Microsoft Teams environment today, if you run those, you can actually have a dial-in, dial-out number assigned to that account. So you wouldn't even have to plug your laptop in. You would be able to direct dial off of the interface and make a conference call. And then in the event of just you using this as a USB device, yes, you can plug that in, use a soft phone client. Our conference cams, so Rally and Meetup, also support Bluetooth pairing, so you could actually even just pair your cell phone directly to the device and use that as a speakerphone extension of your cell phone.
Anyone else? Questions?
So I have a question for Adam. I'm going to ask Adam a question. So, if you start deploying these rooms, Adam, how do you manage them?
Oh, good question. So, we have just launched a few months ago, and then it'll go general availability in November. We have a product called Sync. It allows you to manage your conference room, the Logitech devices, both firmware and availability. So if you have a conference room, your service desk can now manage the firmware of the devices as well as the availability. If there's a camera down, a mic pod down, or even the front of room PC is down, you can get notified and you can update firmware. It has wizards in it to help you work your way through any problems, so you don't even have to train your service desk on what's a mic pod. Oh, well, there's a problem. They click on the picture. It shows them exactly the component they're looking for, and they can go and they can work on the device directly themselves. We are working with many partners, Nectar, who's ServiceNow, a lot of other vendors with APIs that we have available. So we're working with that. We talked to Ipswitch while we're out here on working with them on their monitoring software as well. So we have an open API that you can easily get if you're a developer as well and you want to do something interesting with Sync as well. And if you want to see a demo of it, come on down and we'll show you. Oh, and it's free. So you don't pay for it. It's all there. You sign up for it. You get an account. You plug in your Meetup or your Rally device, install software, and you're up and running in minutes.
So this is kind of in addition to the room management console you get from your cloud vendor, right? So this gives you that deeper level of insight into the Logitech devices that you have deployed.
Yep.
A few more questions, yeah.
So if I have a current Logitech camera in a room, then I'm going to be able to manage that through this or not?
Not really, unless it's a Meetup or Rally. So right now it only supports Meetup and Rally systems. Backwards compatibility is still under discussion.
Yeah, so we're investigating the next set of products we're going to incorporate into it after we launch it in November.
Yeah.
So your device is on my network sending outbound traffic to Sync? Is that?
The front of room compute is sending outbound traffic
to the Sync Cloud.
To the Sync Cloud service.
Sync runs locally on the machine.
Right.
But
Okay.
talk about the type of data that we get.
So
Adam,
none
from
of
the
our
Sync.
data that we send is any PII. There's no PII data. And it is just availability of devices. So plugged in, not plugged in, what the device is that was plugged in, whether the device changed in the firmware version. So we don't send...
Well, you said you could update the firmware.
Right, so what we'll do is it'll actually go in and it'll do a request saying, hey, is there a new update version? Yes, there is. And then you can either say, go pull down the update version from WSUS or whatever, or you're going to pull it down from Logitech directly, right? So you have those options. And for those who ask, yes, we have the firewall ports required. It's all 443, right? So everything's protected from SSL. We have the list of known firewall addresses you need to access. So,
Still a little nervous, but okay.
I don't blame you. I understand.
We would love to have a further
Yeah.
conversation
Yeah.
with you to understand
Yeah,
that.
we're demoing it at the booth, so
Yes.
feel free to, after
Yeah.
this, continue to talk with Adam.
Absolutely.
We are a Swiss-based company, so you can assure that we are GDPR compliant
Yes.
on EU standards, not US standards. Any other questions on this side?
Okay, and I'm gonna ask one question to David just to keep things going here. So let's say I've deployed a Hangouts Meet hard room kit in my room, but I get invited to a GoTo meeting. What do I do?
The room has a dedicated nook, or
Yeah, it's got a Chromebox. It's got a Chromebox in it.
So there's a couple options. You said a meetup, not a rally, right?
Let's say it's a rally.
Okay, so Rally has a very interesting feature in it, actually, that Meetup does not. With Rally, you can have your compute device connected to everything via USB at the display hub, the box that lays behind the display. There's also a table hub on Rally, and you can have a USB cable from the table hub that goes to your laptop. Normally, it's going to the compute device, the camera, the microphones, the speakers. And then at your laptop, as soon as you plug that in, that no longer becomes the host. Your laptop becomes the host. All the USB devices connect to that. So it's just kind of a quick 2x1 USB switch almost, built into the Rally product. Then you have your video. So one of our partners, Extron Electronics, out of Anaheim, California, they have an HDMI auto switch that you just put behind the display so that it will also automatically switch the video for you as well. So that's the Rally based solution. On Meetup, since it doesn't use the two hubs, we don't have that switching capabilities. So on Meetup, Extron has additional peripherals, and they have a number of solutions that they post on their website. We will soon post those on our website as well to reciprocate. And those solutions allow you to do a number of things, one of which is to switch between BYOD and your in-room compute device. It also allows you to add additional control capabilities that they offer for things like lighting and shades and other automatable features of your room. Did I answer your question, Vic?
You did. Thank you.
Great job, David.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions for the panel here? Yes.
When your computer becomes the host and then assumes control of those USB devices, the camera, whatever, what kind of compatibility are we talking about, like drivers like Mac, Linux, Windows?
So Windows and Mac,
For
always, pretty much. Linux is getting better. So right now when you connect to Linux, it's more of a generic device driver. It does just work out of box. There's a ton in the open source community of drivers as well. The biggest one is with Mac and Windows, you have the concept of whitelisting, so that your device will just connect inherently. It's not, you don't have to go into menus and select things and get admin approval to install drivers and stuff. You just want it part of it. So that's the trickier one. When it comes to Linux and Android, they just kind of work, but you don't have to worry about the whitelisting in those communities.
Yes.
To add to that, just to add, right, all of our devices are just USB devices, right? So you can plug in the cameras and all that stuff into your PC and it will work, right? So you don't have to, if you're running into a room and like, oh, this is new hardware, what am I going to do? You can simply just plug in your camera and it'll take a second and then you'll be set to go.
Yeah, so most of the drivers on Windows and Mac, they're in-box. They're going to pull down. It's using standard UVC or HID device drivers that come down in most cases. I'd say the one exception is TAP, where it needs a DisplayLink driver to operate. Okay. We have a couple minutes left. Instead of taking on questions or anything, I want to thank you all for coming out here. Thank you so much for joining us. We do have that system working as intended now, so if you guys want to come up, take a quick look, you are welcome to, and also come down and see us in our booth.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. If you participated in the contest, please come up and see me so I can get your contact information, and we'll be sure to send your meetups to you. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Have a great rest of the show, and we'll see you at the party.
Thank you.
Thank you.